So I knew it would always be a part of my life. So at that point, I decided, okay, I'm going to stop playing football. That was a big decision, but at that point, I had already gotten. I think for so long, it was like a part of me to just try and prove that this thing is possible.
Yeah. How old are you then when you're like, okay, let me
22.
hang up the boots? 22.
22, 23.
Yeah.
23.
You could have gone on and had some fun though.
When you say have some fun, what do you mean?
Like, because this is my thinking. At 22 players, you barely peaked.
Yeah, sure.
So your best is probably in the horizon.
Possibly. But it's a bit different when you're trying to play internationally from Kenya. If perhaps I was based in the US and let's say I was a US citizen, it is easier to find a team because you're not an international. You don't need a visa. You don't need a team that's willing to sponsor you to get to have a visa to stay. And there's limited international spots on every team. Even here in Kenya, if you're coming from Tanzania, there's a limit on how many Tanzanians or foreign players you can have in each team.
Okay.
So it makes it very competitive. So I think you have to make a decision. Are you willing to work through that period of like, okay, I go to this team, I have a trial for this team, go to this team and all of that. Are you willing to work through that? Or are you okay with with how things are?
Okay.
And for me, I was like, okay, I really just wanted to prove that this thing is possible, that I can get to the professional level. And I think honestly I was content with that at that moment. And so I decided to stop. And when I decided to stop, now I was trying to figure myself out. I started writing a book.
Yeah.
Because I felt like that would be the best way for me to capture everything.
Just to highlight, like, what does the book highlight mainly?
It's just my journey.
Your journey, yeah. Okay.
It's almost like just a recollection of everything. Because I felt like if I do that, then I close that part of my life. And then now I can move on with things. So that's what I spend my time doing for like 6 months or so. At the same time now I got involved in football here and said if I was going to commit myself to anything, I'd be trying to make it possible for these young people who are like me
to get an opportunity that you never had.
Opportunities. And I knew they're there. The opportunities are there. What we don't have is the structure.
The structure.
Yeah.
So where do you start? You're back here. You want to create an avenue, a structure for people to get an avenue for people to play, live out their dreams in football. So you come back. Where do you start?
It's tough. So you realize like the industry isn't big enough to say, let's say you studied sports nutrition in university. How many teams have a sports nutritionist?
So your budget tulikuwa nayo lakini kuna makosa kidogo ilifanyika venye.
So you realize if you're passionate about sports, you have to build from the ground up. So you have to be the entrepreneur in a sense because you're trying to create something that doesn't exist. It's not like finance where there are 1,000 companies looking for someone in that field.
Yeah.
It's like there are not very many teams, and then even within those teams, do they have a position for you? That's the kind of how it was. So I got involved with a company that does like sports tournaments in different parts of the country of the city, and I started running their academy program. So it was very humble beginnings. Like you find a base. We used to go to schools. So we go to schools and then I'm training students in the school. So the whole time I'm trying to use my testimony to make them feel like, oh, you can trust this guy. So I just keep telling them my testimony. I keep telling them, this is possible for you, blah, blah. So I end up, like getting a few kids. In the beginning, it's like 5-6 kids.
Yeah.
You're just training them.
Yeah.
You're speaking with their parents. You're just trying to build this thing.
Yeah.
But I felt fulfillment in doing that.
You felt like I'm on the right path. I don't know how it pans out, but this is the right thing.
I'm not making any money.
Yeah, but
I think this thing can work. So long story short, I end up leaving that company after 1 year. I start the academy that I.
You start your own academy now,
called TrueTalents of Africa.
How'd you come up with the name?
My wife actually helped me. At that time, we were dating.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to pick names and I was writing some down. And for me, the key thing was like...
What are some of the names that didn't make the cut? Mbogi yangu? What are some of the names that do you remember?
We thought of like athletes of Africa.
Okay.
But then we weren't sure about that one. The reason behind the true is there's a lot of like fake development that happens.
Oh.
You know, like I tell you, oh, you can go and play for Arsenal one day.
It's a
but I'm going
brokering
to
type
train
thing.
you
Yeah.
twice per week.
It makes no
and
sense.
It's kind of like a business or that kind of thing. So I wanted to call it True so that we actually be about the development of this talent.
Yeah.
So that was where it came from, and then it just sounded nice.
It sounds really nice. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So that's how it started, and it started the same way. Maybe we had more kids than when I initially started, but then now it's you go to find a field, you hire that field, you get some coaches to work with you, and then you're part of it. You're doing the.
How do you
coaching,
find a field in Nairobi that you can just use? Are there any public fields?
No, you don't use public fields.
Why?
Especially if you want the quality to be the quality of the field.
So where do you find a field, a good field that's quality?
Schools,
Like what school?
even primary schools. Some primary schools have decent fields.
Really?
At that time, when we first started, it was at RTI, Railways Training Institute in South B.
Oh, they have a good
They
field.
have a decent field. It's not a good field.
It's
To find a good field in Nairobi is not easy.
what's a good field?
Yeah, a good field. At our academy now, we have a good field.
In
Very
Limuru?
nice field, in Tigoni.
Oh, in Tigoni. We'll talk about that. So,
Yeah.
okay, you're having to rent the field.
Yeah.
How much do you give them for we're gonna be here from 4 to 7. How much do you want?
So it's like a business.
Yeah.
Because we didn't stay there. We moved. We ended up at a school called Nova Pioneer. That's where we also used to coach. Another school called Dawamu.
Yes.
So at one point we had many different bases, different coaches doing the same kind of coaching, and then we had our own base in Pangani. That's a place called the Goan Institute.
Now hold on. How are you finding these coaches, and what's your agreement with them? You're like, look, we're starting something. How do you even find them?
It's entrepreneurship at the end of the day.
Oh, now
It's
you
the
just
same way
Yeah.
you have things that you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, okay, if I get 20 kids and I charge them this much, that means that there's this much amount of money.
Okay, so now you
now-
sit down and you're like, I'm gonna look at it as a business completely, and like, I'm gonna get these coaches. We're gonna have like a business agreement. We're gonna have set up shop here, 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 and here. We're gonna coach these kids. We're gonna have this kind of structure and curriculum for them. This is what the amount they're gonna pay. Something like that.
Yes. Because when we first started, many sports and arts institutions in our country, they operate basically on donor funding, like an NGO. You ask for money, and then you now help some kids.
Yeah,
You know, but it's not a sustainable way.
it's not.
Because one day the person you're asking for money will either start to put in their own ideology and whatever.
They won't
You're
give
really
you-
serving them. You're not serving the kids.
You're doing their
necessarily.
bidding, yeah.
Yeah.
But the alternative is to find capital for yourself.
The alternative is to give enough value to these families to where they're willing to pay for the service. Just the way schools run,
Oh.
private schools.
And you knew you could do that. We could do that. We have like a qualified team of professionals. We could provide value that's not provided anywhere.
Yeah, I felt like if we can, I felt like I had a good understanding of the way football works internationally. And I knew if we can develop one or two students, they could have a chance to get a soccer scholarship to play in the US. Not big opportunities.
Yeah, just realistic.
Just
It's a realistic
one.
start, yeah.
Just realistic starts to their careers.
You still keep in contact with some people in the US. You're like, I'm starting something here. We might need you guys somewhere down the line.
Yeah, in fact, when was it, 2018, 2019, I brought in one of my friends who was in the US, and he does that. He helps students get soccer scholarships, and that's how the first 3 students through that program there, so it's called Sports Recruiting USA, they got scholarships and they went to the US. And then that was like the big proof of concept.
So hold on. Some kids you coached, they got scholarships to go play in the US
Yes.
from your program.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let me ask you, just to show your credibility a little bit when you're starting out, are you having to have hard conversations with their parents like, look, I know this whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm not like a snake oil salesman. I know what I'm doing. And plus you have to find out how you balance academics because they're still in school. So how do you marry the football curriculum into the academics?
Okay, that's a good question. When we first started, we went to school. So we're running inside the school already. So
Okay.
the school would just tell us, you have Tuesday afternoon, you have Thursday afternoon, you have Saturday and Sunday. 2 hours each day. You can have the kids at that time.
Okay.
So they're not forfeiting their school to play.
Okay.
It's now part of their curriculum. and then the parents pay above and beyond the school fees
Okay.
for that specific program.
Okay.
So that was perhaps where it's tough, is you have to convince these parents that you're credible. But I feel like at that time it was something that was new. Not many parents had heard about it, and then it's my own journey. So it's difficult to discount what I'm saying because
Yeah.
I've been through. And then now once you get the first set of success stories, then it's easier.
It's easier.
Because then
Yeah,
it's like,
I
yeah,
agree.
this player went. So even your son. So
Was it hard to convince the schools? Like, let me come in and do this. They're like, who are you? But then you provide some of, I've done this. They're like, okay,
yeah, it was tough. I think that's the hardest part.
convincing the
The
schools.
schools, yeah. Not even the parents. The parents are willing to support their son in,
Yeah.
because the son has so much passion for football. But to operate in a school is not easy.
Who are you having to call in the school? The HR, the sports nini.
For it to work well, it had to go all the way up to the director.
Okay.
Yeah. So at one point, I had a conversation with one of the directors of the school. And she was American, so it helped because
Okay.
she understood.
Okay.
And she
Makes
empowered
sense.
us to now run the program.
Now, to the part where you marry your curriculum to this. So you're saying you're given 2 hours every day, and you now have to figure out how you make use of the 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. So how has True Talents grown up to this point? Like,
So it started in those schools and getting a bigger number of students to be in the program from those schools. That's how it started initially. Then we found our own training base in Pangani, and that's how now we grew from however many students we had to about 120 students. And across different age groups, at that point now you have a whole team of coaches. You're running essentially like a business. Yeah, that's how it looks. And then you're also sponsoring some kids as well, because some kids come from a background where they can't afford what you're trying to give them. So about 10% of the students are sponsored
by whom?
by the
Academy.
Yeah.
So some of the surplus you may have, you're like, we'll put it back to sponsor some of these
Sponsor
kids.
Some of these kids, yeah.
Based on like, he's so good, let him just go.
Exactly, yeah. Based on their level of ability, how much they can help the team, and also their character. You know, if you see a kid who's he's always there, he's really pushing, despite his circumstances,
Yeah.
he's just there. At that point, she's
Do you get a lot of people who just like, can I come? Because like football, any ball is so in Kenya. Do you get like 1,001 people who just like, so niache tu nikam, yani atakanda? And how do you handle that?
So there's a barrier to entry. The barrier to entry is most of the time is on the money side. Maybe they can't afford. Even if they can afford, the barrier to entry is also how competitive it is. Because you have to create a professional environment. If at the moment we have players who are 17 to 21 and they train Tuesday to Sunday every single week.
For how long?
It's continuous, it's throughout the year.
For how long in the day?
Oh, 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
I'd say 3 hours mostly. So if you're not that committed towards football, you're not going to commit that much. It's time more. Sometimes I feel like you're committing even more time than resources. Because people have the resources to cover these things, but if you have to commit 6 days out of the week to this, you have to be pretty sure that this is something you want to do. So that's the other barrier to entry sometimes. Yeah.
Interesting. So recently you guys moved to like Limuru, somewhere in Tigoni. Explain to me how that came about. You now have a new program where you house your academy players. How did that come about?
So when I went to the US, what I experienced at 15 was that these guys have everything. I was staying on campus. I have my school right here and I have my football here. And I'm training twice per day, not just like twice or 3 times in a week. So the player I end up becoming at 18 and the person I end up becoming at 18 is probably far more developed than somebody who is here trying to do the same thing. So when you compare your students with that environment, you think, okay, we need to intensify this development, not just for football's sake, but also for their character. Because you can use football, that's one thing about football, you can use football as a tool to make somebody good at whatever they choose to do, basically.
It can equip them to like handle certain other things in life.
Yes, because football usually replicates it. It's like life,
Okay.
basically. So if I consider that, that was always the goal, is how do we make it so that these guys who are across the world don't have so much of a different experience to the guys we're bringing up here. And that's how essentially Kenya needs to bridge the gap in development in all sports, not just in football, is by making sure that we have a similar environment to the teams that succeed.
Basically, an injection of cash.
No, it's not just cash. It's many things. It's many things that go into developing a player. The biggest one is time. If our students are in school for 9 hours in the day, then they have night preps, they have early morning preps, and then they have 1 hour to run around. No coach, no serious facilities. How are we going to ever expect them to compete at an international level? It's going to be really tough. And there are only a few programs in the country that you can do more than that. So the goal behind this academy was, for East Africa as a whole, how do we have a place that if you want to pursue football at an elite level and get opportunities through it, you have a place that's going to take care of your education, your character, and then your football at the same time. And that's how the idea behind having our own residential academy came about. The process was a bit more challenging because, of course, it's taken, 7 years since we first started TrueTalents of Africa. And 3 years ago, I had gone around to look at hostels, or like houses, big houses. I went to Karen, I went to all over the place because I thought we just need a place where we can have students to start small. Just house them. They do their education there. Then we bus them to the training field and bring them back. And that seemed like a good idea. But then when I looked at the cost of, now I involved my family as well. So, because I would need some capital. So we're looking at the cost of renting and the cost of owning at the place that was offered to us. I said, actually, it's not so different. Because when you rent, you pay less, but at the end of those 5 years, the landlord can be like, okay, you guys leave.
You don't have, it's not sustainable. You don't have anything to show for what you've been.
Exactly.
They can just...
Yeah, and especially when you're running something as deep as a school, you don't want to stop after 5 years. You don't want to just stop the development of these kids after 5 years. So, in that process now we found some land in Tigoni, and everything just seemed to align. Honestly, most of it is just God.
How far is it from the capital, from Nairobi? Let's just say the CBD. Is it like 1 hour?
25 to 30 minutes.
Really? It's not that far.
It's not far. I don't think it's far. From Westlands, it's 20 minutes. From where we are now, it's 25 minutes.
So you're housing your what do you call them? The kids who are getting trained over there. What do you use?
The players.
The players. Okay.
Yeah. So the goal is it's an international secondary school that basically focuses education, character, and football.
Damn.
Those are the two things.
That's very impressive. Now, like, have you had people who are like sniffing around for what you're doing? Like, we're impressed. Like, even someone in government who are like, you're doing a good job. How can we help?
Yeah, honestly, it's been God. There's been a lot of people who've come and said, hey, this is really nice. This is something that a lot of people should be doing, that kind of thing. And then when it comes to help, of course, there's people who can support the journey through even just like posting about the journey and all of that, but also buying some of the merchandise that we sell. And then the reality is we only have capacity for 40 students to stay residentially at this moment.
Okay.
But the facility as a whole hosts 200 students. So at the moment, we're looking for somebody who can help us complete the infrastructure.
They study there, they play there.
Yeah.
Everything, and they live there. Okay, for right now, you're looking for someone to
help us complete the infrastructure to house those 200 students. Because it's extremely expensive.
It's very expensive.
So we need a partner, and that's what we're looking. We're looking for investment. Debt can help when it comes to infrastructure, but of course the local banks, the interest rates are really high. So that's one avenue. Equity, we don't want to to lose ownership of something that is still young. So something in the middle would be ideal.
I'm surprised people are not like, because you clearly you're willing to do the job, you're on the right trajectory. The hardest part is the time and willingness to do the job. You have that, the structure and the people to do it. Shouldn't be hard to get someone. I don't know, maybe sometimes people don't want to work with people in government, but your project is something that the government would want to be like. But they probably would want to put their logos in your stuff too, which is horrific.
You know, I used to work at the government, by the way.
Yeah,
I used
yeah.
to work in the Ministry of Sports.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah, I remember.
Even you used to.
Yes.
I should not be saying that. Yeah.
You can say.
This guy works in.
How can BCI?
I used to work at the Ministry of Sports.
Yeah.
And, I was in talent development. So I was putting together programs that I hoped could help not just football, but any of these athletes. There were specific sports that we were targeting. And that was the plan, is to help them develop.
Because to me, you're doing something government should be doing. You know, in a weird way. There's no academies for people to play football. Okay, since they don't want to do the job and you're doing the job, the least they can do is maybe partner with you on whatever level. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what I feel generally is the technical side and the side of the government that's supposed to be doing things is over politicized. I think that's the problem. Nobody in the government, I feel, does things from a place of this makes sense, we should do it.
Got it.
They do it from a place of
This is
political,
profit us.
yes,
This will profit us in this
going
way.
to help me, help us,
Yeah.
whether in some kind, shape, or way or form.
And that's where they lose you.
That's why things don't seem to go in the direction like people who with a clean mind or a clean heart would say, this is where it's supposed to go.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, by the way. Who are some of your success stories, and where is TrueTalents going? Like,
so we've had over 30 students attain different opportunities, soccer scholarships to play in the US and Canada. Some have joined our partner programs in Poland, in Romania, in South Africa, in the UK as well. Like you shared, we try to work on attainable opportunities at the level that most of our students are at. They're young and they're amateurs, they're not professional. So trying to promise them that they're going to play for Arsenal in 1 year is not realistic.
Playing for this Arsenal is looking very elusive, Maze. What the fuck are they doing?
Football is extremely competitive. For somebody to end up there's people who grow up in Arsenal's academy who don't play for Arsenal.
Even on like...
You grew up outside of the stadium and you still don't play for the first team.
Yeah.
So there's so many factors, not just talent, there's so many things that go into it that it's very slim chances.
Yeah.
But there are many opportunities in football.
Okay.
If you can get yourself to a certain level. That's what we try to focus on.
Yeah. There's opportunities, yes.
Yes, exactly. And we're not telling them that they won't play for Arsenal. We're telling them, look, this is a ladder. You go from here to here to here to here to here. Eventually, one day, by God's grace, you might end up at Arsenal. But our responsibility is just to take you to this next step.
And we cannot promise you Arsenal, but we can do this, and this. We can get you ready for these opportunities. Exactly. We can put the opportunities in front of you.
Exactly. And then give them the real environment to do that. Not trying to tell them, oh, you can do this by training once or twice or 3 times per week. Let's make sure that you're in an intensive program.
How much is the diet critical to what you do in sports?
Very. Very. Especially at a formative stage, it's extremely important. That's one thing that the West Africans have over us.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain, Kidogo.
They're physically... It comes down to protein. They have a natural sensitivity to protein that is more than an East African. That's why their bodies...
Yeah, they're very...
They're short. They tend to be shorter.
But stout.
But they're stout and their bones are usually bigger and they have more muscle mass than an East African. And that helps them in the kind of profile of players that Europe looks for.
Is that food or just genetics, like environment?
It's both. But you see, the food that they have been eating over time.
Yeah.
They tend to have more protein in their diet than an East African. In Kenya specifically, we're very
calorie dense, starchy ugali mingi and chapos and stuff.
And less meat, more beans, more pulses, more that kind of
by the way, West Africans will eat everything in the name of protein. They'll have assorted
chicken, that's normal for them, at least once a day. So over time, if you go back into their ancestry, then over time it reflects in how they look.
They look.
Yeah.
And that helps.
That helps in their athleticism. So
But you'd think like a guy like Adama Traore is not like a good, like you'd want to be more of, you'd want to be more Mikel Merino as opposed to Adama Traore. No?
it depends on the position that you play, and the strengths that you have. Because
Okay.
the reason Europe tends to come here to look for players, to come to Africa to look for players, is many times because they want what they can't find in their own country. What can they not find in their own country?
Okay. Physique.
Is that part. We need a guy who can go from here to here in however many seconds.
Without
Because we don't
anyone,
have anyone like that. Now, can he do that with the ball at his feet? He can.
even better.
Or even better. But if you try and compete with them try to compete with a Spanish person on the technical level, it's not good.
All right, let's tackle two things before we close. Let's say like I show up at your academy the first day, because there's people who say there's different managerial styles. There's like Arsene Wenger, who's like your dad, put your arm around you, but you respect him. You're like, okay, sir, he tells you do this, don't take sugar. There's that kind of managerial style. Then there's like Jose Mourinho, who's like berate you kidogo, like you can do better, scream at you kidogo to bring out the best in you. Then there's like Ferguson, who's like pressure, same as like Jurgen Klopp. Now, what kind of coaches, what approach do you take? Do you look at these guys as like, okay, you guys are like my sons, you're like my small brothers, what coaching approach do you take?
That's a good point. So we work on a value system.
Okay.
With anything that involves a lot of people, if you don't have like a system that governs how everybody acts, it's very easy to get swayed by anything, or to just have somebody who's functioning very different from someone else. So the values that we have in our academy, they spell out the word dreamer. So D is dreamer, basically somebody who believes that life can be different if they aspire for it to be different. That's the first thing. The next one is being a role model. So everything you do, this is both for the staff and also for the students. Everything you do, can you lead, but not just lead from a place of, when you tell a kid to lead, they think it's like, oh, I'm just going to tell this guy what to do.
What to do? No.
It's leading from a place of example.
Yeah, lead by example.
Like if I'm telling you to do something, I'm also doing it.
I'm going to do it, yeah.
I'm going to do it with you. Then giving an extra 110%. So not just giving 100%, everybody will give 100%. How can you add 10% extra that nobody else is going to do?
Do extra for your teammate.
Do extra, whatever it is, just
Okay.
add an extra 10% to that.
Okay.
And the next one is accountability. So being accountable, not blaming things outside of yourself for the reason why you're in a certain circumstance or place. And the next one is manifesting family. So make sure that you are treating the person next to you, not just as somebody, but as like your family member. Give them respect, take care of them, all of that. Then E is education, not just in the academic sense, but in the sense of being a continuous learner, always looking to learn and being curious about things around you. And the last one is resourceful creativity. We deal with primarily African students or students who are based in Africa. And it's so easy to look down upon yourself and say, I'm in this situation because of X, Y, Z, or especially
No
on an
self-pity.
international level. Yeah. So basically instead of complaining, finding solutions. So finding creative solutions for resourceful solutions for what you want to do. Yeah. So that's how we try to run everything.
That's the credo.
And the way that looks like practically is even at the end of every session, players get points. So you get points based on, were you the hardest worker? You get a point. Or whoever was the hardest worker, the team votes who was the hardest worker in training.
Okay.
They get a point. Who was the best teammate? So people nominate, guys vote.
Every day after session.
Every single day after the session. And that's the way the values, because values can be a thing you just write on a wall and then say these are our values.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to like every day,
live it, create a
I'm trying
culture.
yeah, exactly. So that's how we do it.
Nice. And everyone has to buy into the dream, everyone has to buy into the process. We work together.
Yeah. I think if you create a family environment, because that's the key thing, Like a lot of footballers think they're playing football so that they can become a professional. But what you really realize is that there's that element of, I have a place that I belong.
It can bleed into other aspects of your life that you don't even realize.
Yes. Help you make friends, help you have a social life.
Yeah.
There's so many things.
Okay, the last one, Maze, as we close. How long have you been married now?
3 years, 3.5 years.
I thought it would be longer. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah.
2022 July.
Nice. Congrats. How is it? Would you recommend it to young guys? What's the biggest critical
Are you
thing?
asking for yourself?
I don't know, man. Maybe, probably, maybe. But how is it? What's the biggest thing to like? I'm invested in a marriage. I'm doing good. What's the most critical thing? Is it like communication? But communication sounds cliche. I don't know.
I think you have to be in a space where you have the capacity to care about someone else.
Yeah. Okay.
Not everybody is in that space.
I like what you said. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Not everybody is in that space where they can say, okay, I have myself in order. It doesn't mean you have a job. It doesn't mean you have
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
It just means that you have yourself in order.
Yeah.
And therefore I can actually like give something to someone else.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
also have to be the same. And if you find yourself in that space and both of you are in that space, then I think it has a likelihood of succeeding.
Mm.
Of course,
Okay.
with all the other things, the attraction and all of that.
Yeah. All right.
That's what I would say.
Well, thank you, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you for
you've asked
coming.
me so many questions. I feel like I should now start asking you questions.
I haven't asked you so many questions.
No,
Question-
you've been really good at like. You have a gift, by the way. That's why we always talk.
Thank you.
We always talk, even off this platform. We
Yeah.
always talk, and it feels like we can talk forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're very good at that. You're very good at listening.
Thanks.
And then not derailing from. I don't know. Some people you can't really have a conversation with them. So
Yeah, it gets long-winded, it gets boring. Maybe you're
Yeah.
going in circles a little bit.
Yeah, or rather they just don't know how to ask a deeper question beyond the shallow one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So big up to you, man. And
Thank you. Big up to you, man.
for creating
Dude, you're
this
doing
platform.
really good with that True Talents thing. You inspire a lot of people. People speak about it in hush tones. Like, cool, check you real. Maze KK, man. You inspire a lot of guys, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Keep up the good work, Maze. Keep guiding those. They call you coaches. What do they call you? Coach Kim.
Coach Kim. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys, Maze.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, it's been Comic Diaries, episode 11. We've had KK himself. I'm glad he made it. It's hard to get this guy, Maze. He's very busy. But we're glad he made it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.